Hi class, welcome to our oral and written communications course. My name is Professor Larson and I will be working with you hopefully to develop your interpersonal, personal, and professional communication skills. So right now I'm taking over for another teacher that you had. She had to leave, so I'm diving into week 3 with you, but I want to set up some ground rules just because we're kind of starting fresh. So if you log into class, you'll see it's a little bit different. I like to start with a home page that has our picture, but it also has a little bit of information about the course. This here is the course description that is published in the Remington College catalog. So I want you to pay attention to what it says. Number one, we're looking at how different people, different cultures from around the world communicate, and we're going to be communicating as part of that. And so one of the requirements of the class is to record yourself giving speeches, kind of like what I'm doing right here. And I'll help you with techniques on how to do that later on. We're not worrying about that this week, but make sure that you do have access to a microphone and some type of recording device. So like I'm just using the camera in my in my laptop, but if you have a smartphone, you probably have the ability to record your own video. So make sure you have access to that. I also want to point out how to navigate the page. So I said make sure you click on modules over here. I'll show you that in a minute. But I also wanted to point out that you have a means to contact me. So I prefer text messages just because I teach at multiple colleges. I have 3 very loud children who are always in the background. So when I get phone calls, I'm kind of scatterbrained, so it's hard for me to talk live, but a text message works great. And I pretty much accept text messages anytime. I do live in California, so I'm on the Pacific Standard Time. So if you contact me at, say, 8 a.m. your time and you live in Florida, well, I am fast asleep because it's 3 hours earlier here. So just a little heads up. All right, so this is our homepage. Again, as I said before, you're going to click on modules. This is how you access all of our weekly assignments. However, you can also see copies of my announcements here, which will come through your email as well. We can go conference each other and have a live meeting like this. And there's a chat feature in case you want to talk to your teammates on any projects. And of course, grades is important because that's where you see how you're doing in class. But let's go ahead and start with the modules. And you'll see each module or each unit is broken up by week. So you have at the top here our student resources, including the textbook. I went ahead and opened the textbook already so I can kind of show it to you. So here it is right here. It's really important that you have access to the textbook because there are assignments that are specifically related to things from the book. So if you click on, where to go? If you click on the textbook and it doesn't open, you're going to need to talk to our help desk. So that is right here under support. So if you click on support, there's a couple of different ways to get IT help. I would call myself computer savvy, but I am not an IT person, so it's really hard for me to figure out why your computer's not working. So make sure you talk to, let's see, right here. So Canvas support hotline, or you can chat with them. All right, so again, make sure you have our book. Let's go back over to modules. My computer's being really slow today. All right, so we're already down in week 3. So I just want to kind of briefly run you through what we're doing this week. So when you move down, you can see the dates. Week 3 course objectives. That's a great place to start so that you see what the goal is for that week, or the goals are, because we have more than one goal. So this particular week, we're focused on explaining how cultural and work diversity can affect communication. Now, if you've ever had a professional career before, you know that not everybody communicates the same way, and you're going to run into people in the workplace with different opinions than you. So it's important that we all understand and respect each other's opinions so that we can all work together and make things successful. So that's kind of what we're focused on this week. So we click on next at the bottom there, and it'll slowly come up to our topics and readings. So these are all the topics that we are covering, again, some goals, and these are the reading assignments that I need you to cover. And here's one of my 3 children say hi. So again, I need to make sure you have, I need to make sure you have the textbook so that you can go through chapter 3, intercultural communication. So again, I have the textbook already open. You can go right here to search for certain things, or click here for the table of contents and get to chapter 3. And here's the chapter here. I'm going to make this smaller so you can see it. I should be able to make it smaller. All right, so it's normally I use this on a different screen, but this here on the very far right is the actual book. So you should be able to close this, I feel like. There it went. Okay, now it's reading size. So again, you can read through the whole chapter. Notice that again, we're talking about a lot of different cultures and different norms for different religions, different ethnicities, different socioeconomic classes. So it's important that again that you're able to study everything. He really wants to be on this video. All right, so that's what I want you to read through. Let's go back to the class modules. He's a cute one. So we're going to click on next. And you have this PowerPoint presentation that should just automatically load. Here it comes. So you need to go through the PowerPoint, because if we were in a live classroom, I would be showing you this PowerPoint presentation. But since we are not meeting live ever, you need to make sure that you're going through the presentations here on your own. And if you have questions about anything that's on the presentation, make sure that you contact me. And again, it's taking a while to load today. I just had it open a minute ago. But okay, make sure you open it. We're just going to skip ahead so we're not sitting here waiting for a long time. Click on next. And supplemental resources. They're supplemental because I think that they're very important to what we're learning this week. So they're not parts of your textbook. They're things that you can find online, and you're going to go ahead and click on these links. I like to right click and open it in a new tab so I'm still in the classroom. So see, here it is in a new tab right there, but I still have the class open. So make sure you please go through these resources and then click on next. So we do have a lot of reading in this class that we can get to the homework assignments. This slide here, you can download a copy of it, or you can just go ahead and make the answer here, because this is just a little knowledge check to make sure that you're kind of understanding the concepts covered in the reading. And then you can click on next. And it's coming. So again, if we were to see each other in person, these would be all of the different topics I would cover in class. But again, I need you to read them on your own. I guess that's what the most challenging part of being an online learner is that you do a lot of reading on your own, but then I help you understand the reading, because if you have questions about it, you're confused about something, you can meet me in the virtual tutoring center. Of course, we're talking about it in the discussion area. And then I give you a lot of feedback and help in the grade book when I see that you might be struggling. So, oh my goodness, I'm sorry how slow my computer is being today. I mean, it just opened earlier. I might need to restart. Anyway, we'll go ahead and click on next. And you have audio files to download, because I want you to hear some examples of speeches and important concepts in the class. So you'll go to this page here, and you're going to have to download this file because it's a zipped document of multiple audio files. So I already opened it. Where did it go? I use this one. Yeah, here it is. So you'll see all these different topics. They're just short audio files for you to listen to. And so you click on it and you open it, and you should be able to hear. If not, again, talk to the IT department to find out why your computer can't play certain files. And then I think we're finally at our discussion. Let's see, it is, it's coming. Go. So our first discussion, discussions every week have 2 due dates. You have the initial due date of Wednesday, the peer responses of Sunday. So you want to make sure that you've done all that reading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Wednesday, you're able to create a strong response to the discussion question. And this one this week is pretty easy. This discussion is, tell me about your own family's cultural identity. How did you identify yourself growing up as a child? Do you see your family as part of the dominant culture or from a co-culture? What values, attitudes, beliefs, and customs lead you to this conclusion? And of course, I will make sure that I post and help you throughout the week. But I just wanted to give you a brief example. When people see me, kids, they initially just usually say Caucasian, but I don't always consider myself Caucasian because My father's parents came from Italy. My mother's parents came from Croatia. Both of those places are very far south as far as Europe goes, and so the people are more olive-skinned. And my grandpa, he used to tell me stories all the time of being told he was not allowed to use a white drinking fountain because he was a dirty Italian. So Italians and Croatians were a little bit darker, a little bit oilier. I mean, yeah, somehow I ended up with super pasty, pale skin, but I am Italian and Croatian, and so that is my co-culture. I'm American first, and I guess, I mean, when I have to check a box on an identification form, it is Caucasian, but I would consider it more of a co-culture of the Caucasian group. And then values, attitudes, beliefs, and customs, that would just be really things that came from my grandparents. And I really was raised by my grandparents. And so growing up with more traditional customs, eating certain foods that Americans don't eat. For example, sama is one of my favorite dishes. We also call them babas, and they're amazing. It's similar to Greek food. Greek is probably a little bit more popular than Croatian food, but it's like a leaf that has been cooked with rice and meat, and but the Greek one is a little bit more, how would I explain it? It's more sour than the ones from the Croatians. So again, foods make me a little bit more of that culture. And so are we dominant? I don't think so, at least not in my part of the world. So again, I want you to tell me about you and growing up and your culture and what you consider yourself to be, because this is kind of a fun discussion. Make sure you come back and respond to your classmates. We need to respond to at least 2 classmates. I don't have a word count for those peer responses, but please make sure that you're continuing the discussion. You're moving it forward. You're asking questions. You're giving observations. You're giving suggestions for improvement. So I would suggest at least 3 to 4 strong sentences for your peer responses. Your initial post, it should be a lot longer than that, right? So again, I don't have a word count, but if I had to, I would say around 250 words for that initial post. And sorry, I'm talking a lot about this, but even though this is technically due on Wednesday, since I'm starting late and Wednesday is 4th of July, I'm going to go ahead and move this discussion due date to Thursday this week. So instead of Wednesday, you have until Thursday to make that initial post. So hopefully that'll help you out a little bit. And next is our homework assignment. Remember I said we have a weekly discussion, a weekly homework assignment, and a weekly quiz. So this is slowly coming. Oh, I see it's thinking. Our week 3 assignment is due by Sunday. So you're going to choose a culture that you're not familiar with, but maybe a little bit curious about. So, for example, one of my best friends, she is from Syria, and she's Muslim, and we've talked a lot about our differences and how similar the Muslim religion is to Christianity and how similar Croatians are to Syrians. And so I find it to be fascinating, and I'd love to learn more about her culture. So I would do some research, look it up. I need to make sure that they are credible sources that I am finding, and then talk to her, interview someone from that country, or face-to-face or online. If you don't have somebody that you can see face-to-face, go on Facebook, find one of your friends that are different from you. And then you're gonna tell me a little bit about that culture and what you learned about it. So you're gonna answer those 4 questions from me. You can just number them 1, 2, 3, 4. It does need to be in paragraph format, but you don't have to create a complete essay, anything like that. I just want to make sure that you have all 4 questions answered. And then this is how you submit the file. If you're having trouble understanding how to submit, please, send me a note and I'll help you out. Again, I apologize if you can hear my kids in the background. They're on summer vacation. All right, so our next page here is the quiz, or at least it should be. Here it comes. Yes, it's the quiz. So again, you want to make sure that you take the quiz, and there's a quiz every week. Make sure that you save. If you don't save and submit, I won't see your answers. So you can save it. You can save it multiple times, but until you press submit, I won't get it. So you want to make sure you do that. And then there should be a button. Mine looks a little bit different. I think there's a button up here that says to start the quiz. And I think that is it for week 3. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not that much. We'll get through it together. Is it going? It's going. Yeah, so that's it. That is our week 3. Again, I'm going to move the discussion due date to Thursday. Peer responses are due Sunday. Homework assignment and quiz are also due on Sunday. So have a great 4th of July. I look forward to getting to know you guys a little bit more, especially in the discussion area. And if you have any questions, send me a text message. All right, guys, thanks.